Hi! Before we begin, I want to remind you that I am currently looking for. Well, I have two people that have expressed interest in my upcoming Dungeons and Dragons online campaign. They are going to confirm next week if they are available or not. So there are still, I would say, at least two spots available. If you are interested, please check out the link in the description. It will take you to the video where I talk about that campaign. Now, today, I want to talk about how the ego needs to go away, needs to disappear, or perhaps it dissipates when you are role-playing in a tabletop role-playing game. When your ego becomes an obstacle, your roleplay is distorted. When you roleplay as a player, you become one with your player character. Your ego, as you know it, disappears. You become something else entirely. It is possible that the ego doesn't fully disappear, but at least most of the time, you're going to be something completely different, someone completely different. In the case of the game master, you become one with the game world. It is even more abstract and yet so tangible when you achieve immersion through roleplay. You are playing the roles of all of those non-player characters. You are also the hazards, you're also the loss and the chaos that is present in the game world. I think that in most problems when it comes to trying to roleplay, as simple as that, the problems concerning lack of roleplay, there is a lot of ego there. You can see this both on the game master and the player side. In the case of the game master, you have it in the case of the frustrated authors, frustrated writers, even frustrated directors. They either treat the game like some sort of novel or book or story, or perhaps a theater stage play or a movie. They are thinking of the game as some sort of medium to tell their story. In the case of the stage play or the film, they look at things as in, oh, this is scene one, action. We're going to have these actors over here, and then this thing is going to happen because it looks cool on screen. It stops being organic. Many things when it comes to the agency of the player characters and even the agency of the non-player characters within that roleplay handled by the game master, considering their agendas, their motivations, their motives. Everything is tossed aside in the favor of a passive experience. So there is a lot of ego there. You're trying to force your particular vision upon your players. Sadly, in a lot of cases, because these players sometimes do not know better, they think that is actually roleplay, but they fall into some sort of Stockholm Syndrome. They are in it for the ride. They are taking along this theme park ride, waiting for the game master to drive them through the different encounters, making the rolls when the game master asks them to make the rolls. And the game master controls everything according to his or her vision of what a story should be, or a movie should be, or a stage play should be. It's just like Rick, you know, from 28mm RPG. He mentions that you need to let go of control. When it comes to control, oftentimes ego is involved. Your ego is getting in the way. In the case of the players, this is also quite easy to notice. Those players that perhaps think of the adventure as some sort of book or novel or movie or theater play, and they are waiting for that perfect opportunity to say their one-liner, their punchline, whatever, and it feels so artificial when it actually comes out because it's not natural, it's not organic, it doesn't flow. And there is a distortion there. It is incredible, the lack of self-awareness. There are some people like that, they upload their actual plays, and they are pretty much taking their players for the ride. Sometimes they are even revealing information that the players didn't even look for. They are telling them what they found inside of the drawers when they aren't even opening the drawer. They are telling them what they find inside of the chest what's in the pocket of the non-player character without even searching the non-player character is absurd. And there are many, usually people with, accounts with no avatars, no videos, but also it could be the other way around too, and they have no actual plays whatsoever, so they are speaking without giving a clear example. Aristotle telling Alexander, you cannot ask of others what you are not capable of doing yourself. They do not upload those examples because they will be criticized for them. I think in most cases they will have to edit many things in their actual plays in order for them to present the correct method they are speaking of. But it's obvious that they will not do it because their actual plays will be heavily criticized. The proof is in the pudding, and they won't be able to present proof of roleplay. Their sessions will become artificial, like an author leading their players through a story, or a director handling actors, not role players, in a tabletop role-playing game. Rather, actors following a script and presenting situations that look cool on screen, but they have nothing to do with the choices, not only of the player characters, but also of the non-player characters with their fictional agendas, motivations, etc. So I think it is a must to get rid of your ego when you roleplay. As a player, become one with your player character. Even if you are playing a game, work within the system, within the setting, within the fiction to accomplish your objectives, but at the same time you need to be playing the role of your character. In the case of the game master, let go of control. Let it happen organically. Don't try to shape the experience. That's why it's worth it to sometimes get into those systems that try to emulate or represent some sort of media, like comic books, movies, sometimes even the literary genre, like, at least when it comes to tabletop RPGs, the Dying Earth tabletop RPG. I actually want to play that game when the opportunity presents itself, because I've had very little experience with it, but you have these ridiculous lines that you would see in Jack Vance's writing, and you actually obtain benefits for using those ridiculous lines. So you see, the system promotes that. You do not need to force or to artificially create those situations because the system is doing that for you. And in those universal generic systems, just roleplay, let go of your ego, let go of control, and you will see that sometimes people actually compare your actual plays to comic books, to movies, to whatever, to books, to real life. Even though it's fictional, it looks so real. So yes, I hope this video was informative and entertaining. I would recommend that you let go of that ego when you roleplay in tabletop role-playing games. Thank you as always for watching my videos. If you have any comments or questions about anything, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.